I we had a rough week here. I'm supporting a friend of mine, and she finally got some electric. She likes to do electrical work, and um, well, her mentor died of COVID this week, and so we're back to square one with her. So especially in these times, we want to help as many as we can, and that's why I love having Jermaine helping the small accounts. Like, look, I don't have a lot. I'm like, all right, here's what you do, but you have to do this trading strategy. You have to do that because I had another friend of mine come in like, oh, I'm thinking about day trading. I've been looking at this stuff, and no idea what we do. But like, I know it's cocky, and but I'm like, I don't have any idea who I am. I'm like, I'll help you. Like, go here. All these people will help you, right? Like, well, I just want to make a little bit. Like, nobody wants to make a little bit. Everyone wants to make a lot, right? And I understand that if you can have the personal shop, it makes you a little more money. I get that.
Take a drink, man.
Excuse me. I'll be right back.
Oh, this was unexpected. I was watching the Thanksgiving special on SNL. I didn't even know he was on. You guys hearing me okay?
Yep.
Awesome. So how much did I miss?
Hey, Kevin. Not too much. We had just asked Rob's take on going into the new month and the end of the year, and got a lot out of that.
That's good.
I guess Jeff CPA's question would be up. I'll let you take it from here.
I wonder, do we want to switch over to Rob's chat maybe?
I'm gonna keep it live, man. You hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, give me a second.
Yeah, I
We'll
didn't
keep
know.
it
I
live.
didn't know where people were chatting. That's why I sent that last one thing.
No, I want to make sure
Yeah, you know
what
what?
we can do.
We're doing okay here. Everybody's in here, and we can keep this going.
I want to answer questions. I'll be right there. Give me a second, man. I'm okay.
I was hoping. So you guys, what keeps happening is people share a link, but by default the link expires in 1 day. So when people share a link, they have to actually tell it to never expire. So I think that's what's been happening.
Oh, you can do that?
Yeah, when you share a link, you can tell it to never expire.
Oh, I never even saw that. That's good to know. Thanks.
So I think when people do it, they're not doing that, and they're all expiring.
Yeah, that'd be me.
Yep.
I'm gonna fix my cocktail here. And then any questions you got, we got them.
So I guess we're doing the voice part in Strat Voice, and why don't you guys fire off some questions in Rob's chat? That way they're centrally located. Well, Jeff, you know, if I catch that he's on, I'm always going to come in. So, and I'm recording this as well, so we should be able to have an upload of this when the time comes. Hopefully, I got the audio fixed a little better this time.
Okay, so I'm back, and what I'm doing as of this weekend, I'm taking 5 days off, and I rarely take time off, but I'm gonna have, today was a half day, then Monday's day, so I'm like, get 5 days off. I'm gonna start writing a book about the strat. That will help. I'm looking forward to that. It's been a while, when people are like, dude, just write down. I'm like, so I'm very excited that you guys are all here. I know it's Thanksgiving, depending on where you are. But as there's no reason why you're not here to understand that this strat is the way, and that's the truth, and that's it, right? And that's gonna help everybody, And I understand. I also understand that I've been doing this for years, and that some people are natural, some people have trouble. That's why I come here. Look, you're gonna have Discord people, you can have Facebook people, you can have people that are gonna help you. Whether I can be there for you or not, and be like, look, Rob, man, I don't got $200 a month. I'm like, that's fine, man. I don't care about the money. I care about you. And what you're seeing is people at Discord, people at Facebook care about you too. Like, here's how I do it. Here's how you look. Here's what we do. You'll see Sarah's birthday's tomorrow, and I'll post that on Twitter. She's been great. But I don't have to do this, man. I don't. But I do. Right? And it's like, don't worship me. Worship the people. Worship Jesus, first of all. But also, always look at all the people that are putting things together to try and help you. And so if you're a struggling stratter, this is why we're here. That's it. Because the winners, they don't need it. Right? And when I was at the company that shall not be named, they're like, Rob, how come some of you guys are so good that they don't stay? I'm like, because they don't need me. If you know the strat, you don't need me. Like, it's better in a community, but you don't need it. It's like, boom, I got the strat. Bam. Right? That's okay. I'm like, don't think you're taking anything from me. No, you're not. I'm like, I gave it to you. Or I sold it to you for $50 or whatever it is, but this is how it works. This is how it can't not happen, right? And so if you're out there and it's like you got questions, let's have them.
Hey, Rob, I have a non-strat question for you.
Okay.
What is your cocktail of choice?
I drink vodka and squirt. And tomorrow I'm trying to stop doing that. Got so much going on. It's like that's my cocktail choice. I used to drink a lot of Jack Daniels. I just don't want to drink anymore. So I'm having a drink tonight. But Strat has become so big that I want to go back to my roots of strength. Run 50 miles in under 7 hours. And I want to get back to that because right now people are hurting so bad. Like, they need me more than ever. and I want to be there for you.
So you're gonna start running again, get back in shape.
Yes. Yes. I turned 56 December 28th. So my goal is 56 made of bricks. Like, I'll tell you. Man,
Yep.
seriously, man, not many people can run 50 miles. I've done that 25 times, and I'm looking at my number one, where I defended my number one. I won twice, a 50-mile race twice in a row, and it's never about me. It's about how can we help more people. That's what my life's come down to as I get older. How can we help more people? Like, oh, this is support and resistance. I'm like, no, that's gonna hurt people. Here's a strat. That's gonna help people. And if they don't understand it, we're gonna be like, no, we're right here. We've got Discord, we've got Facebook, we've got your tire. Like, here's how we're gonna help you. That's what life for me at this point is about. Look, man, I've been, I try not to be rude, but I'm like, look, man, classic tactical analysis, 95% attrition rate. Are you out of your mind that you would ever even attempt that? You even attempt that? Like, oh no, but I like my guru and my guy. Like, when you trade the strat, you don't need me. You don't need the guru. You're like, look, here's how it works, and this is gonna do this and that, right? So, I'm happy that you're helping with this Discord. I'm happy because that's true. And I don't have to show up here. I do, because you know that I care about you, right? Is that true? Like a true statement, right?
Oh yeah, couldn't be more true.
True statement. So if anybody's got any questions, shoot them out. Because if not, I'm gonna go to bed. Tired, man. I'm tired. I'm like,
Yeah, it looks like there's a question here. I'll read it to you. Mandalorian Knight 63. He's saying, in regard to when a stock is breaking out, I remember hearing in one of the Strat Attack shows something about waiting for a pullback or a reversal. I guess a triangle day out before getting in. I think this only applies for when it's breaking out of a broadening formation, but I would like some clarification.
Correct. So what you want to do is, like, some people will come to me as like two directionally. Right, it's taking out the highs. I'm like they're chasing. I'm like, you totally are. I'm like, so what you want to wait for is a reversal back in the direction of what we know to be true. So what that would mean was a 2 up, 2 down, and then boom, the 2 back up. That's how you do that. Because when things are screaming like that, you need tight stopper people to get stopped at, because we know they're going to do that.
Yeah, so if you have a triangle you can go through, it'll work a lot better. So you might even have an inside down and back up.
Right. So we can prove that is that a couple ways. That always think in terms of the other side. And if you're wrong and someone's screaming, you're looking to get out, right? You're getting killed. And also that for most people, that even when they're right, they're scared. Like, oh no, this thing's gonna come back down on me. Okay, so if you wait for that correctional activity, that 2 up, 2 down, and that 2 back up, boom, that's where you add to it. Because that's when you're gonna make a lot of money, right? Most people have been taught to take money off the table. Like, oh, well, we got all this money, but if we take money off the table, I'm like, that's dead wrong. No, dead wrong. The other side's wrong. We're gonna press this. We're gonna buy more because we're right. The other side's wrong, right? So always want to press our winners, because if you get out of your losers immediately and you press your winners, that's what you got. You got Zoom, you got Amazon, you got all these things, and you're loaded to the gills, and you made millions of dollars, right? But Am I right or am I wrong? 'Cause I can show it to you, but get back to that question exactly. Was that, look, you need to understand that we know what winners look like. We know what winners look like. Stay in unless you have a reversal against you. But what that means is there's several ways that can happen. But if you only know 2-1-2, 2-2, or 2 goes 3, you'll know what a reversal looks like. And if you don't have that, you stay in. If that makes sense.
Yeah. Hey, Rob, when you talk about a reversal going against you, what if you entered on a 15-minute or a 30-minute signal and it reverses on the 5-minute? Would that be a reversal against you, or would you want a higher time frame reversal?
It depends on the longer time frames. If you have the monthly, weekly, daily going your way, we expect that to happen. You're going to triangle them out. What that will tell you is that you have a minor reversal against you, which tells you that now you can look to add to it. So when you have a reversal back in our direction, we're going to add to it. You're like, all right, because this reversal is not strong enough to take us out from where we originally got in. So we're still playing with their money. So when we have so oftentimes we'll use the PSAR to say that, okay, now it's giving us a sell signal, but we know it's really a buy signal. So then we're looking for a buy to add to it. Because the way you're going to make a lot of money is adding to your winners. This is already a winner. This reversal is not strong enough to put me in a losing position. But when this gives us a additional buy signal back to the upside, depending on when that occurs, because we want to know about the flip and all that kind of stuff, that's when you make a lot of money. Boom. Dude, now we're going to add to it. Like they're triangling them out. Not stopping me out there because I'm still at a profit. Boom. Now I'm going to add to it. If that makes sense.
Yep, absolutely. Looks like there's another question in here. ACF asks, when something's has broken the broadening formation and is at the recent all-time high, trading the daily, do the daily stops at the bottom of the candle still make sense, or use a stop on a lower time frame higher up?
Yeah, no, you're going to watch that 60 because now you're at exhaustion risk. So make sure you watch that 60. Make sure you stay profitable. And I can never be more adamant about this. You have to stay profitable. Right? You never have a stop after your initial entry that's going to be a loser. Once you go profitable, you stay profitable. That's it. And you might not make much. But once you're profitable, stay profitable. Then we're playing house money. Then I can put all the chips in there and be like, oh, chips are golden. Like, because we don't care. It's their money, right? And we expect to win because of what we know about time frame continuity and whatnot. So, yeah, so once you're into exhaustion risk, yeah, then we don't know. Because you'll hear people saying, oh, well, now clear blue skies. And I'm like, no, that's a minefield, man. We have no idea what's up there. It's like coming back to the previous range is what we want. But once we go to new highs, that's the land of profit. Any time they start to come in, they're going to take profits. We know that. So always good.
Yeah, I want to give everybody a tip too. You just mentioned that, like, once you're green, do not let it go red. Like, if you take a signal, a reversal signal, and it starts to work, even if it's like 5 or 6 cents above your entry, put that stop a couple cents above your entry. Make sure you never go red at that point.
Right. It's not that big a deal. It's like you might get stopped out. I'm like, so be it. It's the time you don't. It's the time you don't, because people have gotten killed of not doing that.
Yeah, it's like you always say, like, if it's gonna work, it's gonna give you plenty of opportunity to add. But if once it starts to work, don't let it go against you.
Right. Once it's working, it's like, look at this. Look at this. This thing's going to the moon. It's like Tesla, all these kind of things. And like, if you just did that the whole time with Tesla, and you're like, okay, here's the one time I didn't get stopped out. I'm like, how's it going? It's like, it's up $50. like, oh,
Yep.
Right? But just On the other side is like the time you don't do that, you get destroyed, right? And that's what blows you out. And be like, look,
Yep.
oh well, I'm waiting for a bounce play. Are you? You're about to get your ass kicked.
Yeah, Sarah actually says that in her videos all the time. She's like, all right, maybe she said it on Twitter. She goes, you know, you don't have to let it go red against you. Like, you're the only one allowing that to happen.
That's true. That's true. Year long, it's like year long, because you'll hear people say, "Oh, green to red or red to green." I'm like, look, dude. I'm like, dude, if you're allowing something to go green to red, you can get out of that immediately. I'm like, you know why? Because it tends to get redder and badder. This is where you're wrong. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna give it some wiggle room. Like wiggle room, you're about to get your ass kicked.
Hey, you know what? I'm going to post a trade I took today in here just to show these folks what you're talking about.
Okay. Because I didn't watch the market at all. I'm like, when I take a day off, I take it off.
Hey, Rob,
Yeah, hold on. It says 65 new messages, so
can you hear?
I can hear you. Yeah. I check microphone check.
Um, I, I've got. So I'm looking at Costco, and it's two up on all time frames, except for I think the 30-minute and the 15-minute. It's a 3, and they've got a special dividend on Tuesday. It goes.
Check microphone check. I got you as far as Tuesday.
I think that was Jeff.
Was to get a dividend. What are your thoughts on that?
It's exhaustion risk. He's going to new highs, which is great. But it's like, I'm not a dividend guy. I'm like, that's great. Don't pound it.
Okay.
Because of that, I'm like, that's great. But we in this business get dividends or to make money on the move. So if you're a long-term holder, that's great. You're getting it. That's great. If you've been if you've been in this thing for a year or whatever, 2 years, 10 years, great. Man. Just hold on to it. At a trading standpoint, I wouldn't touch it for 10 people. Like let it pick, let it do this. It's a great thing. It's a great company. I'm like, that's not my business. My business is trading.
Gotcha.
And so, yeah, they're gonna. If you get long, I'm like, all right, man, maybe they'll give you a dividend, whatever. I don't care. But that's for a more long-term holder perspective. As a trader's, I don't know. As I let it open and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, usually with those special dividends, you get killed because unless you're holding longer term and give it a chance to recover, because the day of the dividend, when they pay it out, they reduce the stock price by that much.
Right, and if I'm long, I'm like, I'm long. I was like, okay, I get the dividend, but the stock is reduced by that. So how does that help me? Like, I could just take stuff out of my account. It's like it doesn't really help me.
Okay.
So I would avoid stuff like that. Definitely avoid stuff like that because it's like, okay, here's how much you've invested in my company, and we're gonna give you that part of my company. It makes no sense to me. So we want to make money off of the movement of price. That's it. Okay. And that's okay. You know, if you're a long-term investor, that's okay. You know, and it doesn't get, I mean, good. That's not my job. That's not what we do.
Thank you.
So this probably isn't a very good time period to be adding, right? Because it's the end of the year, the end of the month. So we've got a lot of exhaustion risk that we're coming up against.
We do. So what we want to do is like, and I've been very clear about in the videos. I'm like, look, it'd be very difficult to turn this market negative. You know, and there's so much bad news out there. I'm like, look, in order to turn the news negative to the market negative, look at this. Most November bar. I mean, look at the small cappers, 20%, and you're trying to turn that around. You're not going to turn that around no time soon, right? So the only way you could do that is that with December, gap up, go 3, gap down, go 2, go 1. But I'm like, when people are like, this is a horrible thing, I'm like, that's okay, but this would have to happen. And so as we come into December or January, yeah, we can overtake that with time from continuity, but having signals, we don't have that at all. And what we did have was, you know, Jim Cramer, I believe he is a good person. And what he's been noticing is that people, hedge funds, are getting out of energy. Now we're seeing a difference, right? And that's okay. You know, like he's not a bad person at all. He tries to help people as much as he can. What he said was, anytime that you have these pops in energy, yeah. What we said was that now you had a simultaneous break to the upside, which was one of the biggest moves of the year. And so what we want to see is, does that continue? Because on a yearly basis, we're nowhere near a ref strat for the energies. They're still inside years of the downs. So all we want to do is continue to watch how the strat works. You're listening to me right now. We know what the strat says. We know the strat's right. That's it, right? And we don't want to, you know, go off on people. But we know the strat is right. It has to be right. There's nothing outside the strat. We know that. That's why you're here.
So AK Trader had a question about Tesla. Wanted to know what your thought was about it now that it's being added to the S&P.
Okay, so it's inside month and up. We know that. It's just going into new highs. So at that point, we're at exhaustion risk. So we can trade around that, right? We knew once it broke the inside month, yeah. Now we don't know. Now we're going to trade it as best we can. But anytime we go into new highs, we don't know. And so
you're basically trading any reversal back in the direction that had been going in at this point. Any kind of a pullback, you're just trading it back up.
Yes, and the shorter term broadening formations. Be like, all right, okay, here do we have a 60 or 30-minute reversal back through a previous range? We'll trade that. I've got a lot of people who took that right on the break. But we're exhaustion risk. You always want to be aware of that, because that it doesn't mean it's going to reverse. It means it could stall. And if it stalls, then we're going to trade these shorter term charters, broader formations. So that's the condition we're in. and we're coming into the end of the month. It's had a hell of a move. That's okay. So what we're going to do is continue to trade this, watching the smaller term broader formations.
Excellent.
And another good thing you do as it goes, you know, we talk about options a lot, but we're working on this. So as it goes inside, it hit new highs, but if it goes inside in the next week or so, because of the move that it's had, that you can look at iron condors because Tesla's always just jacked. And so if you do that, and then you could look at how to trade it. But if you do the iron condor, take advantage of the juice in the based on things. Say that's where exhaustion risk is good to look at. Look, maybe it goes to 1 million, maybe it doesn't. But if it doesn't, you put on the iron condor, and then you watch how it trades and trade that.
Hey, Rob.
Yes, sir.
I think there's some confusion. I don't think a lot of people trade options in here. There's probably quite a few that don't. Can you give like a brief summary of like what an iron condor is?
Okay, so what you would look for is that when something goes like Tesla goes into exhaustion rate, it is blasting right now, and then we have new time frames where maybe it's going to stall out. Like, okay, so what you would do, I want to get too involved. We're going to have a podcast with some people, but what you do is say that, okay, it's had such a great move. Most people will say, I want to short something that's moved this high. I'm like, no, that's wrong. Just because it's moved high doesn't move and it's going to go down. So what you do is that you look at the options and say, okay, because it's so volatile, you could sell the upside calls and sell the downside puts. And what you do in a butterfly situation is you protect yourself by buying further up upside puts and downside calls, right? What that means is that what you're doing is betting that this thing has run enough. I know I'm not going to be able to explain this tonight, but that all it has to do is fluctuate within a certain range. Say, look, man, it should consolidate here.
So is that kind of like you know how TZA and TNA are one's long and one's short? Would that be like buying both of those?
Yes, and be like, look, it's like, man, I got a podcast coming out. It's gonna be great about, oh boy, TNF, the Russ and stuff, but. And I don't want to confuse people either. I mean, you don't have to do this. It's like, I'm like, this is.
Oh yeah, there's a ton of way to make money in the market. You just pick something that you can learn and focus on that. Do one thing and do it really well, and then expand.
That's right. It's like, so this is a little, it's a bit of a big thing, you know, for most people aren't going to do this. It takes money. It takes all these things. But, you know, it's better than trying to short something you think is up too much. Like, okay, well, when things make a big move, more often than not, they don't move. They go up there and they sit there, or puke and they sit there. And if you've ever traded something that when it got you, you're like, all right, man, well, I'm just going to trade my way out of it. And they just sat there and did nothing. That's what you put this on. And not everybody's got the money to put it on, but be very clear that this is what happens in the market, period. And so, when you got a small account, the main recruiter, he'll help you with this, but be very clear that when you get killed, right, and you try and make your money back in the same thing you got killed in, that's the least thing you're probably gonna make your money in. And you made a mistake. You need to understand what that mistake was. Then go towards something else. Trust me on this one. Did you trust me on this one, Kev?
Yeah, I trust you.
Straight up. Oh, cool.
So what if you made the mistake like 6
money,
months ago? Would you still do it?
What was your mistake?
Well, say you took a big loss because you just didn't stop out. You let it kill you. And then 6 months later, you saw the same stock set up again. Because it took your money before, would you avoid it this time?
No, as long as you learned from your mistake. Like, here's my problem. Now, I don't care if it's XYZ. I don't care what the stock is. But here's where I lost. Here's why I lost. Now, here I'm going in.
So don't worry about, don't trade the stock, trade the condition.
That's true. That's one of the most important things that I say is like, are you trading a 2-2 reversal? Are you trading this? Are you trading, I think, 2-2 so long as it stays a 2-2 on a monthly, a weekly, yearly basis, that's my boy. Always stick with something that you know is winning, because the people that don't do that, they get stopped out and they're like, oh, well, I thought this. No, we know this to be true. This is a 2-2, this is a bam, and we're going to stay in this. And like, even we know, like you were saying before, there's going to be 5-minute trial layouts. We don't care. I don't care. As long as I'm at a profit, I can hold it. Make
That's
sense?
good. Yep. Very good.
So on that note, I'm going to go to bed.
Well, thanks for stopping by. This was unexpected tonight.
Yeah, people talk to me and they're like, Rob, you keep fighting? I'm like, I'm going to keep fighting for everybody, man. I'm going to keep fighting for everybody. And I'm going to take the next 3 days. If I don't post on Twitter or anything for the next 3 days, 4 days, oh man, I just need that. But thank you for your help. And thanks for everybody coming out, man. I'm like, I'm going to do this. It kills me. It's not going to kill me. It's going to help you. So everybody have a wonderful Thanksgiving. If you're not in the United States, I'll take a few days off. And I'll be back Tuesday.
All right. Excellent. Thanks again. Have a good weekend.
Thank you.
Okay. Bye-bye.